Alright, I just want to start off asking you guys, how many of you guys have Facebook, Twitter, one of those things? I'm assuming most of you. Social media, some kind of thing. Alright, I'm going to talk about the control that your employees have over what you say on Facebook and Twitter and whatnot. Recently, in the past, I know that there's been, I'm sure you guys have all heard as well, people getting fired from what they've said about the workplace, their boss, or something along those lines. And I actually didn't know until doing a little research on it that the law changed about that, but recently I thought there was multiple examples of people that were fired, and I thought two of them that were interesting were a woman, I think out west, I'm not exactly sure which state, she was in her late 20s. She called out of work because she wasn't feeling good and told her boss that she couldn't sit in front of a computer all day from being dizzy, but they found pictures of her on her Facebook laying in bed all day, and she was blogging from a website the whole day, so she was fired. And a judge in London was fired after posting. I thought this one was actually kind of funny. It's just a really dumb thing to do. She said she didn't know which way to go with the case, so she's holding a poll of which way to go with it. So she was fired, but obviously don't want to make it sound like social media is always a bad thing when looking for a job. It's actually one of the top 3 things companies look at when they're doing an interview or whatnot. But as of January, beginning of the year of 2013, the National Labor Relations Board changed the law and said that employees can write anything they want with any repercussions or punishment from a boss, but I don't recommend it necessarily, writing anything bad about your boss or your job, but realistically and legally there's nothing they can actually do to fire you or anything like that. I'm sure they can think of something to make you do that you might not like, but legally it's becoming a law. They're working on it this year, as of the beginning of the year, and companies are already being urged to rewrite their social media rules and whatnot. So overall, from what has been people being fired in the past and stuff like that, everything has changed. Everything's changing now because everything revolves around social media. So really, employees don't have any control over what their employers say, unless it's taken to an extent where it becomes racist or offensive or something along those lines. Then they can take action. But when it's just employees saying something simple, then there's really nothing that they can do. So that's about it. Any questions?
So the cases where they were fired because they said one thing to the employer and then were actually working on the computer, that's different than what you actually write.
Well, she was blogging on the thing, and she was talking about how she was sick or wasn't feeling good and stuff like that when she called out, and then the judge one was just kind of self-explanatory, saying, hold a vote on which way to go. There was a lot of cases like that about writing something about their boss or something about the job where they're fired for it, but now everything's changing. Those cases were 07, I think one was 07 and one was 09. I mean, now.
So, okay, so that was legal then, to fire somebody if they did.
Yeah, back then it was legal. Now
there have been
as
cases
of January,
that have been brought up and challenged that.
Yes,
okay.
there was multiple lawsuits about violating the freedom of speech and whatnot, and so as of January 2 months ago, they the end of January, so not even 2 months, they changed the rule, and they're urging companies to stop taking social media, so using it as such a leverage for employees.